Hi there, everybody. I'm here with broker owner of RE/MAX Realty Experts, Beverlee Vidoli, and owner and operator of McDermott Appraisals, appraiser Kerry McDermott. And I wanted to welcome everybody this morning for a great interview with Kerry and Beverlee. So Kerry has been an appraiser for the last 15 years. She works with many attorneys, local banks, and mortgage brokers. So welcome, everybody. All right, so I will jump into the first question for you. I know everybody has a busy schedule. So how do you feel that the modifications that have been put in place have affected how appraisers handle residential appraisal process today?
Well, during the pandemic, it's actually very helpful that Fannie and Freddie flexed the guidelines and allow us to complete. They've issued 2 new products. It's we can do a desktop appraisal, which is no viewing of the property at all whatsoever, on a traditional appraisal form with with a large addendum, so that they know the difference 5 years from now when it's sitting on somebody's desk. We're allowed to use information from brokers, your photos, homeowner photos. We can gather information from places that we're not normally allowed to rely on, and use that information. So that has been helpful for that. And we also are doing modified exterior appraisals, which we still go out to the home, do all the measurements, take all the exterior photos, and usually on an exterior appraisal, sometimes the homeowner doesn't even know we're there. Now, they know we're coming. They can send us the photos of the house. I need all the interior stuff. They can give us their list of updates, so we're not just going on what the exterior looks like. So those are very helpful during this time, and I know they're doing them for a lot of loans. You have your buyers that have large down payments that meet guidelines. They don't need an interior appraisal. Same thing with refinances. As long as they're not taking any cash out and they have a high equity amount in the house, we don't need to be in. So that has been helpful. It is a little bit more work intensive sometimes because you're not actually physically seeing it yourself, and you have to gather that information from different sources. Most people have been very good about getting it to us, though. So
in the cases, Kerry, where the bank may need you to go in, and right. And I know there have been some cases like that, how do the homeowners and the realtors that are supposed to be getting you access to the home react to you coming in, or what kinds of situations are created for protection, right, so that you and the homeowners are in good
right. Well, vacant homes are easy, obviously. Lockbox code, we're in. With homeowners, my company sends out an email prior to scheduling the appointment, and it lists the guidelines of, we were assigned your order, we need to appraise your house, or we have the conversation with the realtor. These are the steps we're taking. Our appraisers are all wearing masks, where it's a no-touch policy. We're not touching anything in your home. We're asking that they turn on all your lights, open all your doors, make sure all your systems are accessible for an easy photo. Send us all the information prior. We have a list of questions. What are your utility connections? What improvements have you made? Open a few windows, keep the airflow, step outside of the home while we're in, or if you can't, leave the home just to stay in one small area while we go around it. Literally, I could probably tell you I've been in and out of houses in less than 5 minutes, just photos, and it's easy, not touching anything. People have been really good about it. We have not run into much resistance at all. I've met a few realtors, and I get there, they're in the driveway in the car, the house is open, the lights are on, everything's done, but we're not touching the shoe covers or no shoes. I've always made my staff take off their shoes. I don't feel like we should be walking around people's houses with shoes on and then walking in their yards and then the next house. So your shoe covers, we have, I know, we have the mat. I don't want anybody's shoes in my house either. We have the mats, the shoe covers. The only thing that we're not using, and I explain it to people, is we're not wearing gloves. Gloves are for medical people that are trained in cross-contamination. And I expect that myself and the 2 people that work for me are not touching one thing in your house. They shouldn't, there's no need for them. Everybody must have their hand sanitizer and disinfectant. Everything gets wiped down. My cameras, my iPads, all make back to the car, get wiped down, because they are going from place to place. And that's, really, I really have not run into any issues whatsoever. People have been great. They've been very helpful. and I read some articles, some appraisers are like, they're not putting their lights on. I have not had one homeowner or realtor not have everything open and wide. They just, in and out quickly. They're on the back deck. They take the dog for a walk, and I make sure that they're back before I leave. I don't like to leave anybody's house unlocked. I don't want that. So.
It's amazing how we've had to adapt everything we do on our end as well as your end to make it all work. But that's interesting.
And I think that we've all done a really good job of that as well.
Right.
So that leads into the next question. How do you feel that the residential home sale inventory has affected the process of comparable home evaluations?
Well, I know that we function in different worlds as far as value. Realtors have you guys, and we have, guidelines that the banks make us follow, which are normally 6 months and 1 mile. That's their guideline. Obviously, that doesn't work every day anyway. And now it's a little bit tougher because, as you know, the last couple months, home sales have been very slow. What goes on the market is selling. You guys are doing an amazing job marketing. They're closing quickly. It's just there's not a huge inventory. I think everybody's kind of on pause. So our guidelines, so basically we're collecting more data on a larger range. I don't think I've been within a mile in months. And 6 months is not, the winter months are hard anyway. Add this to it, so we're going back sometimes to last spring for sale data. And then, there still is an increase in the market. March sales were up 6% for everything under $1 million. So we're waiting on the April
valuations of the properties, you mean?
Yeah, they're up 6%. March is firm numbers for homes under $1 million in Middlesex County. The sale prices were up 6% over last year. So, we go on that. We can't say what's going to happen in the future, but our values are based on what's happened already. So
that's exactly the data statistics that I've read and understood, that from last March period to this March period, it's about a 6% increase. So you're right on the money on how valuations have changed in spite of COVID. So
I don't think we're seeing an impact of COVID on values right now. And I don't think as long as your inventory stays this low, you're not going to, because a house goes up on the market and you have buyers that want that house in that neighborhood. They're looking, they're waiting. So that, I don't know if we'll see an impact right now at this time period on this, from this pandemic.
I think the biggest, just to side note on that for a moment, I think the biggest challenge is that we're not using the traditional open house process. So the house might have a few more days on the market, weeks on the market, just because of the amount of time to get everybody into it who is looking, to be able to view it and then decide. So it depends, house to house, but I think that's the length of time has changed, but not the valuations.
Right. Well, and also your process to close is a little bit more complicated now too.
That is,
separate rooms, separate everything. So, but no, I don't know. Maybe a year from now there might be some impact depending upon how long unemployment is. But right now I don't see values dropping. It's not in the model that anything that I've looked at.
We've definitely got a pent up marketplace of buyers. It's just when they're going to get out and feel comfortable. Same thing with the sellers. When are the sellers going to feel comfortable who haven't had to get into the market now but do want to in the future? So there's so many factors that we've discussed here that are changing what you do, what we do. But in sort of the nutshell of it, what do you think the greatest challenge to your industry has been in dealing with the COVID effects in the industry? Has there been anything that you could really say has made the change?
Basically, it's just we've been waiting. Our regulations change every day. Fannie and Freddie issue a new addendum for our reports every day. So it's just staying on top of that and just making sure. I know, like, when you guys do your listing sheets and your agency is great at them because I see them all the time. We need the more detail from people. There are a lot of agents out there that just put, hey, there's 6 rooms, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and it's a split. Well, where are those rooms? Are they upstairs? Are they downstairs? So some of that has been more difficult, and just keeping on top of what they expect from us. And the mortgage companies don't even know. I've done a few reports and they're like, oh, wait, we ordered that wrong. It can't go through this way. We need you to change it to this form now. So it's just a daily learning curve, but it's been okay, and we're just busy. So it's.
I bet on the upside of everything, the fact that realtors are now really seeing the value of virtual tours on the properties, helping
Right.
your industry
It
get
does
in there and see.
greatly. The more information, the more detailed you have on that listing sheet. Well, it helps your prospective buyer, but it also helps us get your appraisal done so that your deals close nicely. You know, utility connections. The town halls aren't open all the hours that we need them to be to normally get the information we need about, you know, is there septic in the area? Is there sewer on the street, but the home doesn't have it. So if you guys will have that all on your sheets, you fill them out completely, we're good. And we don't have to bother you either because you guys are busy. You're trying to schedule, I can't even imagine trying to schedule virtual tours with people to get them in through houses on a daily basis. It's just, there's a lot. So
we've all got our challenges, but we're making it work. That's the important thing. We're all making it work.
Yeah, so.
All right, ladies. Well, I want to thank you both for your time. Kerry, it was so great to hear you. Beverlee, thank you. And have a great day, guys.
Yeah, you
Shannon,
too.
thanks for hosting and doing a great job again. Thank you, Kerry.
Shannon, thank you.
And
Thank
have
you,
a great
Beverlee.
day.
Good luck out there, ladies. Thanks.
Thank you.